What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you want up to 15 free stocks, Moomoo is going to give you up to 15 free stocks when you open a new Moomoo brokerage account. They're going to give you up to 15 free stocks. When you open the account, if you put $100 in right away, you get 5 free stocks. If you put $1,000 in right away, you get 15 free stocks. Now, this is a limited time offer, guys. So if you're interested in that, there's a link down in the description box of this video. Go click on that Moomoo link, open up your new Moomoo account today, make a deposit, and get yourself up to 15 free stocks. Today we're going to talk about the Federal Reserve. They had their FOMC meeting, first one of the year, today. And they decided in that meeting to not increase short-term interest rates. Currently, short-term interest rates, aka the Fed funds rate, is 5.5%. Now that's the rate banks borrow money between each other. That is not the rate you and I are charged when we go into a bank to borrow money. Typically on consumer debt, short-term consumer debt, we are charged on the prime rate, which is 3% higher than the Fed funds rate. Why is that important? If the Fed increased rates, kept them neutral, or decreased rates, why is that important? Well, for me, guys, it's important because it affects my assets, right? When interest rates are high, my assets lose value. When interest rates are low, my assets increase in value. They gain value, right? So we're in a situation right now that the Federal Reserve over the last 20 months have been increasing short-term interest rates 11 times over the last 20 months. Why did they do that? They did it in an effort to fight inflation. Because if you guys go back to 2022, June of 2022, inflation was 9%, guys, which was not healthy for our economy. Why isn't it healthy for our economy? Because when prices go up that fast, a lot of Americans can't afford the basic things they need to live because the goods and services went up by 9% year over year. I'm talking about June 2021 to June 2022. Prices of our goods and services went up by 9%. The Federal Reserve steps in and starts increasing short-term interest rates to drive those prices back down. Why do they want to drive them down? Because they want price stability in our economy. They want everybody living in America to be able to afford the basic things they need to live. So that's why the Federal Reserve is so important. And they use interest rates to turn on the money supply. They use interest rates to turn off the money supply. They've been turning off the money supply for the last 20 months with increasing interest rates. How do they turn off the money supply when they increase interest rates? They make borrowing money too expensive. See, a lot of our money supply is predicated on borrowing money, and we take that money and what do we do with it? We put it in our economy through buying things. A lot of people, a lot of companies borrow money, but they take that money and they put it back into our economy in the form of consumerism. Businesses put it back in our economy in the form of hiring people, right? Expanding their businesses. But all of it is predicated on a healthy economy. So when the Fed wants to turn off the money supply, they make money too expensive to borrow. And that's what they've been doing over the last 20 months, guys. 2 years. They've been making money extremely hard for consumers and businesses to borrow it. What does that do though? That takes money out of the economy. When it takes money out of the economy, what happens? Prices come down. Why? Because you don't have as much demand, right? When you have a lot of demand, when people got a lot of money, a lot of cheap money they can borrow, they making wages, right? Demand goes up. When demand goes up, typically if you don't have supply to meet that demand, prices go up. And that's what's been happening over the last 2 years, and that's what the Fed has been fighting. The Fed came out today and basically said, listen, we're not increasing short-term interest rates. But if you understand and go back 6 months to July of 2023, you will know they haven't increased interest rates since July of 23. So if you are paying attention, they're telling you they're done increasing short-term interest rates. It's done. It's over. And today was the exclamation point. Fed chair said they're happy with the progress of their monetary policy, basically increasing interest rates. They're happy with the progress that they've made. They see inflation where they want it to be. They still want it to come down further, but they don't believe they need to increase interest rates anymore to get it down further. It will naturally continue to go down. They're done raising interest rates. That's good news for what? The economy. That's good news for the market. That's good news for investors. Why? Because when they start decreasing short-term interest rates, which if you listen to the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell today at 2:30, which I did. I listened to his whole, all of his comments, and I listened to all the questions and his answers to those questions. They are not prepared to decrease short-term interest rates yet. But in their meeting, March 20th, 2024, they'll be meeting for the second time. If they get data for these next couple of months that support inflation still down, then I believe, and a lot of other people believe, they will start reducing short-term interest rates in March. And when they do, guys, wow, it's a whole new ball game because the economy is already doing good. If you look at the numbers from last year, GDP numbers, I believe we were over 3% GDP for 2023. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good economy. With inflation coming down, we still had a 3% GDP. What you got to be careful of is if you keep interest rates too high for too long and our job market erodes too much, and unemployment starts to rise and people start getting laid off, then all of a sudden, our economy is not doing well. Why? Because people ain't buying stuff. See, our economy only works well, guys, when people buying stuff. But the Fed wants us to buy at the right level, right? At the right level. We don't want too much demand, not enough supply. We don't want too little demand, too much supply. We need a level playing field between those two. We need just enough demand, just enough supply, keep our economy growing over 2% a year, keep inflation under 2% a year, and we keep moving right along. That's when our economy is at its best. But how do decreasing short-term interest rates help our assets? Here's how. When money is cheap to borrow, guys, people can go borrow money at a cheap interest rate. They can take that money that they borrow and they can buy assets. And those assets will give them a higher return in most cases than what they borrowed the money for. Here's an example. Let's say I want to start a business. Let's say I put my own money in the business. I get the business going. It's starting to get profitable, but I run out of money. So if I'm running out of money personally, I can't invest anymore to grow the business. Even though it's a good business, I'm stuck. I got no more money to put into my growth. So I go to the bank and I borrow money to put in my business. The bank says, okay, we like your business. We like you. We think you got a viable concept. We think it's doing well. We'll lend you $100,000 and we'll lend it to you at 3%. I can take that $100,000, I can put it into my business, I can grow my business by 10%. I borrowed the $100,000 for 3%, I grew my business by 10%. That's how people take cheap money, put it into assets, and those assets grow. And people do that over and over and over and over. So when interest rates come down, money is cheaper to borrow. That means you are adding more money or the supply of money to our economy. That's why I keep telling y'all guys, assets are gonna go up when interest rates go down. Here's what you should be thinking about right now, before the Fed starts reducing these rates. You should be positioning yourself right now to start dollar cost averaging into your favorite ETFs, your favorite index funds, your favorite individual stocks. That's the easiest, quickest, most effective way, in my opinion, to get yourself in the game. You sitting on the sideline waiting until they start reducing, you're behind the 8 ball. Why not get yourself in front of this thing? Right? Now, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you experience. I've been down this path. I know what's coming. I listened to Fed Chair Jerome Powell today. And I'm no expert, guys, but you ain't got to be an expert. All you got to do is understand that they haven't increased short-term interest rates since July of 2023. I mean, they haven't. They're not going to do it anymore. Now, they're going to wait a month or two before they start reducing, but they're going to reduce. That was clear. Now, he didn't come right out and say, in March, we're going to reduce. He don't have to say that. His language, his forward guidance told you everything you needed to know. As investors, though, what we need to do, and I guarantee you the 1% are doing this, so us 99%ers, we got to get smart and get ourselves in a position to be ready to take advantage of this boom that's getting ready to happen. That's my opinion, guys. Like I said, I'm no expert. I'm just giving you my opinion. You can disagree. You can sit on the sideline. You don't have to do anything. Just sit on the sideline and wait and don't do nothing. That's okay. Me personally, I'm getting ahead of this thing. And I've been getting ahead of this thing for the last 2 years, since they started increasing short-term interest rates back in 22. I was getting ahead of this thing. I was buying assets then when they were dirt cheap in 22, when the market fell by 20%, 15, 20%. I was buying assets then because I knew this day was coming. I kept telling y'all that. This day's coming. Why? Because history tells us it has to come. This is America, guys. The whole point of America, this American dream thing is dependent upon people being able to make money. Do you really think they're not going to allow people to make money ever again? Yeah, they are. That's what's happening. Oh, it's doomsday. It'll never come back. Guys, y'all got to understand where you live. You live in America. America's a capitalistic society, and ain't nothing wrong with that. It's about the almighty dollar. Yeah, temporarily assets go down, but they always come back. Give me one period of time where assets have never rebounded from a downturn. People said it would never rebound in 2008. Real estate would never be the same. Come on, man. Y'all know what real estate has done. It done way surpassed what it did prior to 2008. Values way above that. And the values are not going to go back down to 2019 in real estate, guys. They're not. So get that out of your mind. Here's what you need to be thinking about. Short term. This is my wealth transfer blueprint. Short term, think about paper assets. Short term, right? Short term right now, you should be figuring out a way to do what? Earn, keep what you earn, and then be ready to do what? Stay out of consumer debt and then invest. That's the wealth transfer blueprint. Earn, keep what you earn, stay out of consumer debt, and do what? Save and invest. Right now, paper assets is the easiest asset, in my opinion, to get to if you ain't got a bunch of money. If you got $100, if you got $1,000 a month that you can dedicate, if you got $500 a month that you can dedicate, well, something. Dedicate something to buying paper assets through dollar cost averaging. Right now, before the Fed start this cycle of reducing rates, because once they do, assets are going to go up. You think the stock market is booming now. You wait till those rates start coming down. It's going to go higher. That's my opinion, guys. Again, this is not a convince you channel. It's an opinion channel. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CFP. I'm just a guy who's done this for 25 years on his own, just basic, simple stuff. Don't complicate it. Get you a brokerage account. Like I said, if you want to get that moo brokerage account that I'm using in 24, there's a link down in the description box. Get it, open it, put some money in it, get you up to 15 free stocks, and then you're ready to go. And then take your $100 a month, your $1,000 a month, whatever it is, and start buying assets now before these rates come down. Because once the rates come down, it's going. And here's the deal, guys. Be in the market. Don't try to time it. Don't miss the most important days of 2024 because you on the sideline trying to time the market. You're going to miss the best days. Guys, we may only get 9 or 10 great days in 2024 for the market. We may get 10 great days. If you miss those 10 great days out of this 365, you lose. But you won't miss them if you get in the market. You're in there constantly, right? I've gotten emails from folks that, Richard, you know something? I'm putting $50 a day in the market. $50 a day, I'm buying my favorite companies. I'm buying my favorite ETFs. I'm buying my favorite index funds. $50 a day, they're just doing it. I got people saying, you know something, I'm putting $100 a month in. I got people saying I'm putting $2,000 a month. I'm buying assets. I'm positioning myself. Guys, if you want financial freedom, you're going to have some assets. Period. There ain't no financial freedom in your future without assets that actually grow in value over time and produce passive income. If you don't have that, you do not have financial freedom. You will not have financial freedom. I'm telling you what's coming. Just like I told you in 22 what was coming. It's coming. It has to. It has to. Because that's what this great country is all about when it comes down to the financial system. It's about empowering people to be able to do what? Build their own wealth. Create their own destiny. Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. That's not how this country is built. This country is not built on somebody giving you something every time. No, this country is built on people getting out there, taking risks, and building wealth. Those are the people who get to the end of the rainbow and have a big old pot of gold. I've been one of those people for 25 years. I've been a person that says, you know something, I'm not the expert. I don't want to be the expert. I'm just going to go off of what history says this country is about when it comes to building my wealth. This country says, if you get your butt up, go earn some money, keep it, stay out of debt, invest it, you'll build wealth, period. I don't care if it's $100 a month or $10,000 a month, whatever your budget will allow. But I guarantee you this, you can watch this video and do nothing, and I guarantee you, your net worth is going to be either the same or worse at the end of 24. Those people that say, you know something, I'm not the expert, I ain't got a lot of money, but the money that I do have, I'm going to put it in investing in my future. I'm going to build me some assets. Those people are going to win in 24. Those people are going to win in 25. Those people are going to win 10 years from now, because that is the wealth transfer blueprint is for you guys to do this for the next 10 years. Don't be short-term minded, be long-term minded. But if you don't get started, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what type of financial future you'll have. It won't be bright. It won't be a good one because you need assets, guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. You need assets in this. Listen, in this country right here, you have the ability to do whatever you want to do. You do. I gotta admit that. Is it a perfect country? No. But man, do you know how many people come to this country every single day? I'm talking about from other countries. They come to this country. They grab a hold of that American dream thing. They start working, minimum wage. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them living in one bedroom, little shack. But they start working. They get a hold of this thing. And they say, you know something? Hey, this is all right. Yeah, I ain't making that much money now, but the money that I do make, I'm going to keep it and I'm going to keep leveling up. I'm going to keep leveling up. I'm going to keep leveling up. Before you know it, these people got them a little business. And then that business starts to grow. And before you know it, man, these people are millionaires, man. Within 5 or 6 years, millionaires. People do it all the time, come to this country from other countries, man, and do it. But see, we live here in this country, born here in this country. A lot of us don't do nothing. Why? Because see, we sit around and all we want to do is pleasure ourselves. All we want to do is entertain ourselves. See, we don't want to do no hard work. We don't want to take the hard road. We don't want to take the rough road. We want the easy road. But yet and still people come here from other countries, all around the world, boom, boom, and do what? Latch on to each other and start building wealth. I'm telling you, look around, look around, look around. And a lot of times these people will come to this country and do things that Americans won't do. See, Americans think we too good to do certain things now. Oh, I ain't doing that. That's beneath me. I got a PhD. Oh, that's beneath me. I got a master's degree. Oh, that's beneath me. I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. I'm a business owner. No, I'm not going to do that. But yet and still people come here every day and do these jobs. And then all of a sudden they level up. They keep leveling up. Next thing you know, they're millionaires. See, because a lot of people come here and see how we have it and they just shake their head. They look at us and pick at us because they're like, these people don't even get it. We come from a country where you ain't even got running water. We come from a country where you can't even be outside after 6 o'clock p.m. at night. We come from a country where you can't even worship how you want to worship. We come from a country where you can't marry who you want to marry. See, we spoiled here in this country. That's why 150 million of us don't have no retirement savings. Right? That's why 62% of us live paycheck to paycheck. Guys, let me tell you something. The Fed chair today, he gave clear indication the direction that they're going. All they need is just a little bit of data to support it, which they will get. They will get that data, and they're going to reduce those interest rates. I don't know if it'll be in March, but it's coming. If you were to listen to this guy, Jerome Powell, it's clear they're reducing. Now, whether it be in March, in May, I don't know. But one of those months, they're reducing. And once they get started, assets going up, right? Easy money coming. Easy money. Why? Because when short-term interest rates go down, loan interest rates go down. Now, and here's the big one. When those short-term interest rates come down, eventually long-term interest rates come down, which are your mortgage rates. Once them short-term interest rates come down enough, guess what? Long-term interest rates are going to come down too. And for you guys that are looking for real estate plays, looking to buy real estate, and you're saying to yourself, I'm just waiting on rates come down so it makes sense, so my cash flow makes sense. Until that happens, multiply that money another way. Put it in something that'll multiply until that happens. I'm not telling you to take your down payment for your home and put it in the stock market. That's not what I'm telling nobody. Don't do that. What I'm telling you is if you're an investor and you have a long-term outlook and you're trying to multiply money to build wealth, then the stock market is not a bad play. It's, matter of fact, it's one of the ways people make their money or they hold their money. I'm talking about wealthy people. I hold a lot of my money in the stock market. Why? Because none of it's in real estate other than my 2 homes that I own. I took all of it out of rental properties. It's all in the market. But I'm going to take some of it out of the market once rates come down and deploy it back into some real estate. Y'all know I'm starting the prime real estate fund. I'm working on that now, trying to get it formed. So that's going to be a major opportunity for me and other investors in 24, right? But that's not mine. That's going to be owned by the investors. I'm talking about me personally buying real estate. When rates come down, personally, I will buy real estate because I borrow money to buy real estate when I do it through my personal stuff. The prime real estate fund won't borrow money. We'll buy it cash through investors putting in money into the investment. But me personally, when I buy real estate, just like I buy my home, I don't buy it cash. There's no point in me buying it cash. What I do is I wait for rates to be low enough. Then I take advantage of borrowing money at low interest rates, turning on that money supply. See, that's what the Fed does. See, when rates get low, that's turning on the money supply. Guys like me, gals like me, will go out and borrow this money cheap. We put it in an asset like this that goes up in value. But when we borrow it cheap enough and our return is high enough, it makes sense. But if my interest rate is 7% that I gotta borrow the money to get it, and then I can only get a 7% return on it, it don't make sense to borrow it. I'm not gonna make any money. Matter of fact, I may lose money. So that's why when interest rates are high, the money supply is turned off because it's too expensive. People can't borrow money at 7% and then go get 7%. It don't make sense. They lose money. But when interest rates are 3% and I can go get 7% return on it, now it makes sense. So that's turning on the money supply. That's what the Fed is getting ready to do. That's why assets are going to go up. Why are assets going up? Because more demand. See, when there's more demand, assets go up. When there's more demand to buy those assets, assets go up. When there's more demand to buy stocks, when there's more demand to buy ETFs, when there's more demand to buy index funds, when there's more demand to buy crypto, what happens to those assets? They go up in value because there's more demand. When there's more demand to buy real estate, what happens? Real estate values go up. Appreciation goes up. When there's more money out there to buy businesses, what happens to businesses? Their evaluations get better. They cost more to buy them. Why? Because there's a demand, right? If I got one person trying to buy it, there may not be any demand. But if I got 5 people trying to buy it, that's demand. It doesn't matter what you think it's worth, it's what the market says it's worth. Why do you think crypto? It does what it does. There's no use for crypto other than what people think it's worth. That's the value for crypto. There ain't no operating company. There's no underlying asset to crypto. Crypto is valuable because what somebody will pay for it. That's how assets work, guys. So I'm telling you, turning on that money supply is reducing short-term interest rates. And when that happens, assets are going to go up. Why? Because it creates more demand when you turn on the money supply. More people can participate. See, when more people can participate to buy assets, they buy them, which causes assets to go up in value. When you turn off the money supply and interest rates are too high, people can't borrow money, what happens to assets? They go down. Why? Because demand goes down. Now you got more supply than you got demand. Prices can't go up when you got more supply and no demand, guys. When demand goes up, supply goes down, then that's when assets go up. So that's the whole point here with the Fed chair, guys. I don't care about all this other fancy talk that people do about the Fed and this and that. You don't know what you're about. But listen, guys, I don't need to know everything what the Fed chairman says. I'm not smart as those people. One thing I do know is, I do know when interest rates come down and money is cheap to borrow, people borrow it and they buy assets and assets go up. That I do know because I've done it for 25 years. So if you want to participate in that, you better get yourself in line and get yourself ready. Get yourself ready. Figure out how much money you got to invest right now, today. Oh, Richard, I got $100. Get $100 and that's what you start with then. Start with something. See, you got to get this right, guys. I keep telling y'all this in every single video. It starts between the two ears. It starts between the two ears. I still get people down in the comment section, can't see the forest for the trees. Oh, you said the Fed was going to increase it. You said the Fed was going to decrease interest rates today. That ain't what I said. That ain't what the video title said. I said the Fed to cut interest rates. I didn't say it was today. But see, out of the whole video this morning that I did, that's what they got. That's it. They didn't hear nothing else in the video. That's why a lot of us are broke. See, we worry about the trees and we don't even look at the forest. We cannot see the forest for the trees. That's why 150 million Americans got no money in retirement right now. That's why. Don't be one of those people who only look at the trees, guys. Look at the forest. That's where the beauty is. Right? Get yourself in a position today to build you some wealth. Get your wealth transfer going today. Like I said, guys, stock market, in my opinion, is the easiest route right now. Real estate's coming, but it's going to be a delayed effect for rates to come down for your 30-year fixed rate mortgage. It's going to be a delay. Even if the Fed reduces short-term interest rates, let's say they reduce it by a full point this year, a full percent. Let's say they do a full 1% reduce. I'm not saying they're going to do that. I'm just saying hypothetically if they did. So that brings the Fed funds rate to what, 4.5. Long-term rates may take another 12 months to fill that. Now it could come quicker, but it could lag for 12 months. So until you wait for rates to come down for real estate, deploy the money. Not money that you're using for your primary residence where you're going to live. Not that money. But deploy money that you're going to be using to buy real estate for income. My recommendation, put it in the market right now and ride this wave. Again, not your financial advisor, just giving you some pro tips, just giving you some golden nuggets. That's all. I'm just telling you how the money supply works in this country, at least according to the way I understand it. There are people out there who know it much better than me, but I'm good. I built my wealth. I'm building more right now as we speak. See, I'm not timing the market. I'm in the market every single month, like clockwork. I'm getting ready to deploy some next week. Every month, guys, I keep telling y'all. Because see, I understand I cannot afford to miss the 10 best days in this boom in 22. I can't miss them. That's where the money is in those little 10 days. Hell, it might be 5 days. It could be 3 days. Every dime I can put in, I'm putting in, and so I don't miss no days. The people that sit around here and try to time the market, they miss most of those days. If they're really good, they may get in, they may not, but the majority of us ain't that good. I'm not that good. I can't predict that. That's why I just be in. I'm in every month, right? I'm in every month. And that's what I'm asking you to consider, getting yourself in every month. Getting yourself in right now. Like I said earlier, gentleman sent me, hey man, Richard, I'm 50 a day. He put in $50 a day. I think that's awesome, man. I think if he can do that long term, that young man is going to be well off. If he keep that attitude, see, he's changed the way he thinks, see? He's changed the way he thinks. He understands now the power of taking his money, not spending it to make somebody else wealthy, but taking his money and investing it in assets to make him wealthy. That's the mind reprogramming. That's the filter system reprogramming you got to do, guys. He's learned that. Now, he will keep that with him for the rest of his life. Once you reprogram yourself and you get a little bit of win. Now, there are going to be days where the market's going to be red, guys. There are going to be some days when they're red. But over my 25 years of investing in the stock market, over my 25 years, I've had more green days than red days. And that's evident by what my wealth is, what my net worth is. And I would say about 70% of my net worth was built through buying paper assets. So I don't know, guys. I'm just telling you the power of getting yourself in position to buy assets, to build wealth, not wait, do it now. Fed getting ready to reduce these rates. I don't know if it's starting in March. I don't know if it's starting in May, but it's coming. Like I said, I listened to this guy the whole time. I listened to the whole thing. And I never once heard him say, the economy is bad. We're going to have to keep rates higher for longer. It's just not good. We're going to have to keep tightening. I never once heard him say that. Never once. Never. All I heard the guy say was, we're happy with the progress. Yes, we do have forecasts to reduce rates by 3 times this year, but that'll be predicted depending upon what happens over these next few months. We're going to continue to monitor it, but we are happy with the progress. Looks like what our monetary policy has brought inflation down. Looks like prices are coming down. That's all he kept saying. Now, of course, he didn't say, oh, we're out of the woods. He didn't say that. He said, we still got to watch it. That's the reason why we didn't reduce today. Because we don't want to prematurely reduce and not really have this thing beat. But they haven't raised since July of 23. So clearly they believe what they've done, the restrictions they've put on people borrowing money thus far has worked. There's no need to keep jacking the rate up. It's done. They've proven it's successful. Now the question is how fast do we bring them down? It ain't the question is if they're going to raise them anymore. They're not doing that anymore. The question is, when do we bring them down and how much and how fast do we bring them down? That's the question now. And they just were not prepared to do that today. But they may be prepared to do that in March or May, because those are the next 2 meetings, March 20th, May 1. So all I can tell you guys is you got all of February and part of March to get your mind right. Stop worrying about things you can't control, right? Stop being pessimistic. Stop trying to be the expert. Get yourself in gear. You got all of February and you got part of March. All I can tell you is get yourself in the game. Take yourself off the sideline and put yourself in the game. Put me in the game, coach. The thing is, you the coach. You the coach. So put yourself in the game. You the coach, right? You the star player. Get in there and win the game. You the star player. Stop looking for other people to win the game for you. Ain't nobody gonna win the game for you but you. You don't need to know nothing. I had a young lady hit me up on DM last night, and she was asking me some questions about, she want to build wealth and all this stuff. And I said, well, watch this video. And that was, a live stream I did a couple nights ago where I walk you guys through this wealth transfer blueprint. I say, watch the video. Everything you need to know is in the video. So she hit me back pretty quick and said, hey, I already watched that video. I was like, well, What you waiting on? Step by step, I told you exactly what to do. I can't give you any more information than that, guys. So I can't hold your hand through the whole process. I told you exactly what to do, exactly what I'm buying. Now, again, I'm not your financial advisor, and you got to do what you got to do, but I've given all I can give as it relates to the blueprint. Now the key is you grab on a hold of whatever you want to grab a hold out of that blueprint and start executing. That's it. There ain't nothing else to give. That's it. But see, that's kind of how we are in this culture, in this country. We see it. We just don't do anything with it. We think it's harder than it really is. No, it's not. Buying paper assets is not that hard, guys. You open a brokerage account. You put some money in the brokerage account. You pick the paper assets you like, and you buy them. And you just understand, I'm going to have to hold these things long term if I want a nice return. And I got to buy something that's proven. Now, I've given you 3 or 4 different investments that I buy that I believe are proven. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to be successful for you. You got to have a little bit of due diligence yourself. But I don't do very much due diligence because I just lean on investments that have a proven track record. And I just take the risk. But the risk is paid off for me because it's a calculated risk. I don't put my money in something that doesn't have a long history of multiplying money, guys. That's not how I roll. I only put my money in stuff that has a history, a clear history of multiplying money. And I provided that very openly in all of my videos, what I do. The key is you got to go ahead and do something. You got to go ahead and get started. You do. Can it fail? Yes. But that's life, right? Nothing in this world is guaranteed to us, guys. Building wealth is not guaranteed to us. It ain't guaranteed to me. I may lose everything tomorrow. I might. Nothing's guaranteed. The good news for me, if I did lose everything, guess what I would do? Next day, I'd get back up, start the rebuild. I ain't gonna sit around and wallow in self-pity. Oh, made a bad one on that one. Guess what? This still here. I still know how to think. I still know how to make money. Start over. That's what I would do. I would just start over. And that's the mentality you got to have if you're going to build wealth, guys. Right? And if you got your money in something and you feel like that's good for you and that's what you want to do, stick with it. Don't change it. If you believe it'll get you to your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, stick with it. Don't change it. That's what I tell you. Don't let anybody coerce you into changing what you believe is right for you and will get you to your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Don't change it. But for those of y'all that don't got no plan, get a plan. Get something going. Because I'm telling you, time's ticking. Time's ticking. It's ticking, guys. Let's not watch the Fed reduce interest rates in March. If they do, let's not watch them reduce interest rates in March and you're not in the market. You're not positioned to take advantage of those boom days that's going to happen as soon as they reduce. Don't be in that position. Don't be in that position. Have yourself already dollar cost averaging into something. Right? The key is whatever you're doing now, will it get you to your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? If it is, stay with it. Don't change a thing. If it won't, rethink it. Add some stuff to your plan or create you a plan. That's where you need to be, guys. Right? I'm not here just to be some guy that reports news to you. That's not what I do on this channel. Number one, I'm not a credible news giver, right? I'm a guy that takes the information in and I give it back to you the way I remember it. I don't write nothing down. I ain't got no script in front of me. So some of the stuff I say might be wrong. That's why I tell you guys frequently, fact check it. Make sure you fact check it because I'm not here reading off a script. I ain't got no notes in front of me. I'm not pulling, every now and then I'll take the phone and pull up an article and read from the article for you guys, but most times I read it and whatever it comes, how I remember it. That's why I always say, go fact check it, guys. Do your own research. I'm not your research vessel. I'm not the researcher. You're the researcher. I'm just a guy on YouTube giving you some information to get you to think. It's your job to go out and vet this stuff and fact check it. And it ain't hard to do. Pick up the phone, go to Google, type it in, S&P 500 index. Okay, this dude Richard said the S&P 500 index had a 20% rate of return in 2023. I don't know if I believe this guy, but let me fact check him. Let me go to Google here. Let me go on Google, and then I'm just going to type in Google in the search bar. Actually, I'm going to just speak it right into the search bar. What did the S&P 500 index 2023 rate of return? Oh, okay, that's great. 24%? Okay, yeah, okay, that guy said 20%, so he kind of got it right. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Now, that doesn't mean the S&P 500 in 2024 is going to do 24%. It might do 48%. I don't know. It could do negative 24%. I don't know. All I'm telling you is that the history says over a 90-year period, on average, it's done 7 to 10% rate of return. That's what I hang my hat on, guys. I don't need more evidence than that. There's nothing that's going to be perfect when it comes to investing. There is a risk associated with investing, whether it be paper assets, real estate, or a business. There's risk. Your money could go to zero. Understand that. But see, in my case, I had no other choice. I had to take the risk. Because see, I said to myself, I'm 26. I can work my tail off, spend every dime I make, live a great life from 26 to 50. But when I hit 50, what am I going to do? Because by that time, I'm going to be engaged so much of my time to some other company making them wealthy that I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be tired of going in that office every day and getting them people 8 hours, Monday through Friday. I'm going to be tired. I ain't going to want to do that no more. But if I don't have no assets, if I don't have no way to create income for myself, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to be forced to go in there. I'm going to have no way to take care of myself. So at 26, I had to make the decision. I said, you know something? I don't know nothing about the stock market. I don't know nothing about real estate, but you know something? It's worked for these people. I'm going to try it. Now, yep, there's a chance, Richard, you can lose your little money. But there's also a chance you can work till you're 75. You take the trade-off. Work to 75 or start investing, get you a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and leave and get that up by the time you're 50. Your choice. Obviously, you know what I took. I started investing. You got to ask yourself that, guys. You got to ask yourself, right now, if something happened to me, how would I take care of myself? How would you take care of yourself? Right now, if something happened to you, you couldn't work, or you got laid off. Y'all already know the great layoff has started. These companies laying people off left and right, guys. I'm talking about big companies, medium-sized companies, small companies. See, because these people have found out that, I don't need all this head count. I don't need all this brick and mortar. The new way of doing things is online. The brick and mortar ain't gonna never go away, guys, but what companies are doing is they're reducing their footprint. Their brick and mortar footprint. They're reducing it. Look at all your major retailers. Look at all your major tech companies. They're reducing. They're reducing brick and mortar footprint, and they're reducing expensive headcount, employees. They're reducing. They don't need it. These companies are saying, you know something? With this AI thing coming, all we need to do is keep the best and the brightest. The rest of them, we got to let go. Because it's so competitive out there in the tech market. It's so competitive in every industry They got to find a way to be profitable. They got to find a way to be nimble. They got to find a way to be more efficient. And y'all already know the biggest expense for most of these companies are payroll, benefits. So of course, these companies are going to downsize. They were forced 2 years ago to upsize. They had no other choice, right? They had no other choice. But the government gave them money to do that. So y'all think all these big companies on Wall Street and the mom and all these companies, whether they were big or small, had the ability to tap into free money from the government. So, but a part of that, getting that free money, guess what a part of getting the free money was? You got to employ people. That's the only way you get it for free. You got to employ people. See, PPP, guys, was payroll. Companies got PPP, but they had to spend it, a majority of it, on payroll. So in order to get the PPP, people staffed up. They beefed up, right? And now, guess what? These people done got all their PPP loans forgiven. Why? Because they jumped through all the little hoops the government said they needed to jump through. They provided them the little documentation. Yup, we hired 1,000 people. We paid them. Here's book right here. Now they done got their loans forgiven, and they starting to look at the income statement and saying, why do we need all these 1,000 people? We don't need these people no more. Guess what? You keep the best and the brightest. The rest of them, give them a package. They out of here. So I'm telling you guys, you better have some assets. That's the only reason I'm telling you this. Y'all think you're safe. You think you're safe for these companies. You're not. Oh, I'm too valuable. Shoot, I'm the best producer. You're the first one they're going to get rid of. Y'all do know that, right? The first one they're going to get rid of the joker they paying the most money. Guys, listen. Especially publicly traded companies. Their only allegiance, shareholders and highly paid execs. The rest of y'all little minions down here at the bottom, they don't care nothing about y'all. Nothing about you. Only thing they care about is what? Shareholders, highly paid execs. The rest of y'all are, they will get rid of you in a heartbeat, which you can already see happening. Just go out there and Google it. Just go out there and Google large companies who are laying employees off. Just Google that. You'll be surprised at the companies you see on there. Laying people off left and right. All I'm telling you is guys, do not have a false sense of protection because you think, oh, my company will never, they would never do that to me. Yeah, they will. And if you ain't got no assets to fall back on, how you gonna take care of yourself? What's gonna happen to your family? What's gonna happen to your home? Guys, I'm telling you, you better start buying some assets. You better stop spending your money and making somebody else wealthy. You better redirect that money and make yourself wealthy. And I'm telling you right now is a perfect opportunity to get started before Fed reduce those interest rates. That's the whole point of this video, is to let you know it's coming. I don't know the date, but it's coming. I can guarantee you it's coming. And I'm telling you, at the end of 2024, we're going to have a recap and we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to tell y'all, I told you so. And again, I'm not trying to be the expert. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm just telling you what's obvious. I already told you what this is what this country does. This country's about making money. Whether you like it or not, it is. That's why people come here. So obviously, at some point, the Fed got to reduce those interest rates. They got to. The 1% demands it. All you got to do is follow the 1%. They're going to tell you exactly what's happening. They're going to tell you exactly what's going on. You see some of these really big, gigantic billionaires starting to do all kind of things. They buying up land, right? Why they doing that? Why they start? See, y'all got to start paying attention to what's going on in this financial world. These people know what's coming. So what I do is I just pay attention to them. And I say, okay, I can't be on that scale, but on my little small scale, what would this billionaire do? What would that billionaire do? Let me go see. I was reading, and I did a little video on this last week, earlier this week. I was reading something where it said the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, this guy over the last 90 days cashed out 100 million shares of JP Morgan Chase stock, which totaled like 140 million. Why is he doing that? Y'all tell me. Why is he doing that? Why is a guy like Jeff Bezos selling some of his Amazon stock? Why is he doing that? Why did Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, why did he sell some of his Facebook stock? Now, I know they temporarily do that to create cash, but there's a reason these people are starting to do what? Position themselves, right? They're starting to position themselves. A lot of these folks did what in 2022, right? They took advantage of the down market. And then all of a sudden, 23 rolled around, the market went crazy. Now a lot of these people are just taking profits. They're not completely out, they're just taking profits. Because they paid attention, they didn't panic, they didn't sell all their stock in 22 when things went crazy. No, held on. Because guess why? They knew 23 was coming. They knew an event was gonna come at some point where they could take profits. They waited. See, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all notice when the market is down, you don't see no stories about billionaires selling stock when the market's down. But yet and still, you will hear a lot of stories about retail investors selling stock because that's the propaganda. You don't hear anything about these guys selling stock, man, in 22. You didn't hear anything about any of them jokers selling stock. Now, in 23, tail end of 23 and into 24, you hear all these billionaires selling stock. Why? They took profits. But what you're gonna see is now you're gonna start seeing people starting to load up, especially after the Fed meeting today. It's clear. It's clear to investors. Better times are coming. Rates are coming down. That's clear to investors. But see, investors already knew that last year because they said, they haven't increased since July. Why do you think the market took off at the tail end of last year? Because investors already knew. When they didn't increase, I believe it was their November meeting. One of those meetings, October, November, whenever they had that meeting, they didn't increase. That's when things turned. I think it was their November 1st meeting. They didn't increase their November 1st meeting. And if you guys remember, that's when the 9-week stock market run started. Soon as they didn't increase, that told investors they were done. And guess what the market did? Went on a 9-week run, one of the best runs in history of the market. I keep telling y'all, that's what's going to happen, in my opinion. I think that's what's getting ready to happen again. Because now investors are going to say, you know something? This thing going to run either in March or either in May. It's going to run again. So let's position ourselves right now, buy as much as we can. Let's buy as much as we can of our favorite companies, of our winners. And boom, that's what they're going to be doing. That's what I believe. Again, not scientific. I ain't got no charts and graphs to show you. I'm not trying to go into somebody's website. I'm just giving you my little 2 cents. Don't trust me. Go out and do your own homework. But my little 2 cents tells me that's what's getting ready to happen. See, my little 2 cents is telling me since today, when Jerome Powell basically came out and said, guess what? We done rate hiking. And guess what? March or May, we're going to start reducing. We're going to reduce. And now, he didn't say this, but this is my little insight. Basically, the way they're thinking is listen, we're going to get the January CPI inflation report. We're going to get the January jobs report. right? We're going to get the February CPI report. We're going to get the February jobs report. They'll have all of those reports before their March 20 meeting. If all of those reports point to inflation is down, the job market is stable, where it ain't adding all these crazy jobs and doing something stupid, I'm telling you, in March, they're gonna lift. They're gonna go ahead and start lifting and reducing short-term interest rates. I'm telling you, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna lift and reduce. So all I'm telling you guys is position yourself, man. Position yourself. Be ready. Don't sit around. Oh, well, the guy on CNBC Squawk Box, he said, don't worry about it. Don't do nothing yet. Don't do nothing till June. I'm gonna wait till June. Okay, be that guy. Go ahead. Y'all, I keep telling y'all, mainstream media is controlled by the 1%. And them talking heads on them shows are gonna say whatever the 1% tell them to tell y'all. The 1% has no vested interest in you guys knowing anything about building wealth. No vested interest in that, guys. You do understand that, right? They don't want you to build wealth. They want you to take your hard-earned money and spend it and make them wealthy. So of course they're gonna tell their talking heads to give y'all all the wrong information. That's my opinion. I don't know that for fact, but I'm just giving you my opinion. My opinion is they're gonna tell you all the wrong things because they have no vested interest in you building any wealth. They don't. Sorry, they don't. So if that's the guy you listening to, okay, go ahead. Go right ahead. I went directly to the source, Fed chair, listened to the whole conversation and made my own interpretation. Now, guess what I get to do? I get to get ready and start buying more assets based on that intel. See, I didn't have to get that from somebody else. I went directly. That's why I tell y'all, listen to the guy. Listen. Start doing, just listen. You ain't got to understand and know everything he's saying, but just listen and start conditioning yourself. Start reprogramming your filter system. But no, you won't watch that, but you'll go spend 2 hours and watch some entertainment deal on YouTube or some entertainment deal with some comedian or some Hollywood star or some basketball player in the NBA, some football. You'll go watch all that crap. But you won't watch anything that's going to help you build wealth. But you'll watch all of this other crap that help other people build wealth. Guys, we got to stop this, man. This is backwards. You know, we got the attention span of a gnat. I'm in the attention span of a gnat. I don't want to listen to no 30 seconds of commercials. I don't want to do that. What? Attention span of a gnat. But that's us. That's why 150 million of us got no money in retirement, because we got the attention span of a gnat. And everything we do in this life is about pleasuring ourselves or entertaining ourselves. Ain't about building wealth. It ain't about delaying gratification. It ain't about, doing what I gotta do until I can afford to do what I wanna do. We done lost that. See, we've lost that somewhere. See, that was 2-3 generations ago. This generation today, attention span of a gnat. And it's evident because people are in financial chaos. And the 1% love it. They love you being in financial chaos. That's why they give you all these second chances when you screw up your credit. Okay, you screwed your credit up. You can file BK. Couple years, we're gonna have to put you on the sideline, but then we're gonna let you back in the game in a couple of years. See, they've installed all of these forgiveness clauses so that y'all can keep on doing. You never change the way you think. Okay, I done ran up $100,000 in credit card debt. I'm gonna file BK. Okay, thank you, 1%. They put you on the sideline for a couple years. Then they let you back in the game. You run it up again. Guys, we got to stop this. You do know this is the plan. This is a trap. I keep telling y'all, it's a trap. The only way you get yourself out of that trap is you got to reprogram yourself. You got to stop listening to that stuff. You got to start being able to think for yourself. Stop letting somebody else think for you. That includes me. Don't go off of everything I say. Go do your own fact checking. I've asked many of y'all, pay attention, 2:30 today. Watch the Fed chair. Well, no matter where you're at, pull it up on your phone. Now, I know some of you at work and you can't do that, but to those of you that watch everything else on your phone when you're at work, I don't know why you can't watch that. Trust me, there's a report out that people spend more time on their phone scrolling than they do working. So I know you got access to your phones at work, most of y'all, and you're on there doing stuff that ain't got nothing to do with work. What are you doing? You're entertaining yourself and you're pleasuring yourself. That's what people do. But when it comes to building wealth and educating yourself, that's boring. I don't want to do that. Too many commercials. Why you always talking about Moo? Why you always talking about Weeble? All this other stuff that I tell you, that's the only thing you hear. But that's us. That's why we are in the financial shape we're in this country. That's why people come here and look at us and just laugh and say, they don't know how good they got it. The country I come from, you couldn't even have a cell phone. The country I come from, they monitor your cell phone. Now, we monitor it too here in the United States. Don't get me wrong, they monitor ours too. But a little different, right? A little different. My point is, these folks come here and shine, a lot of them, because what they come from, they get here and they're like, what? You mean to tell me I can do anything I want to do from a financial standpoint? I can start any business I want? What? You mean to tell me? Okay. And I can go borrow money to do it? Oh, all right, great. All right, I'm in. I don't want to do that. My nails might break. I don't want to do that. Guys, we got to stop this. We got to stop it. My challenge to you is this, and then I'm going to let you guys go. My challenge is, if you don't have a wealth transfer plan in place, please put one in place. And if you don't know how to put one in place, go to my YouTube channel and just look at my latest live streams and my most recent live streams and my most recent videos. I've been talking about this wealth transfer blueprint. And all you got to do is listen to those videos and follow the blueprint. If you got a question about the blueprint, email me. DM me on Instagram at Richard Fain Millionaire Mentor. Now again, I'm not finna sit here and tell you everything I said in the video. I'm not finna sit here and trade 15 or 20 DMs. Go watch the video, get yourself started. Because if anybody emails me or if anybody DMs me talking about paper assets, the first question I'm gonna ask you is, do you got a brokerage account? Have you opened a brokerage account and funded it? Is there money in it? Because if not, you ain't serious. You ain't serious about no paper assets. Not if you haven't opened. Guys, there are free brokerage apps out there everywhere. You got one down in the description box from Moomoo. It's free. And they're going to give you up to 15 free stocks when you put money in it. The whole point of it is to put money in it to buy paper assets. If you have not done that, how serious can you be about your wealth transfer? Not very serious. You're not very serious about your wealth transfer if you don't have a brokerage account that's active. Now, I opened one 6 months ago, but I just been waiting. I'm waiting. Waiting on what? What are you waiting on? I mean, come on, guys. We got to stop this. You're not serious about building wealth using paper assets if you don't have a brokerage account set up with money in it and active. You're fooling yourself. That's your first step. Brokerage account. Put money in it. And be ready to pull the trigger. And understand I'm going to have to keep this money in there for 10 years. Right? That's my blueprint. Richard, I ain't keeping it in there for 10 years. I'm going to keep it for 5. Didn't do that. I ain't keeping it in there for 10 years. I'm going to sell it when I want to sell it. Didn't do that. It's your plan. It's your plan. All I'm trying to get you is to get a plan. You ain't got to stick it in there and stay for 10 years. I'm just telling those that want to really build wealth and understand you're going to have ups and downs in this 10 years. But ultimately, history tells us if you keep it in there and it's in the right investment, and I've already given you guys what I believe is the right investments. That doesn't mean they're right for you, but I'm telling you, they've been right for me over a 10, 20 year, 25 year period. So all you got to do is follow the blueprint. But it starts with opening a brokerage account. If you got one, Gucci, perfect. Start using it. If you don't have one, go down to that description box, click on that moo-moo, open it up, put money in it. And then when you put money in it, execute. If you don't know, if you want what I'm doing, like I said, email me, DM me. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CFP or any of them titles. I don't have none of that. All I know is I've been doing this for 25 years. This is the way I've done it. You ain't got to do it my way. You ain't got to buy what I buy. But you better buy something. You better do something. Time running out, especially for y'all cats my age. Whoo, you ain't got long. Anything might break on you. I get my little blood work done, and I just keep my fingers crossed. Don't get me wrong, I'm out here working hard, I'm out here trying to eat healthy, but boy, y'all know how it is when you get older, boy, you keep your fingers crossed, pray. Anything might break. And if you ain't got no safety net, ooh, look, good Lord. I don't know what some of y'all gonna do without a safety net if something breaks. I'm telling you guys, please don't put yourself in that position. Get you some wealth, man. Get you a little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Do something. Get you 100K, 200K, 500K, million, something, 50K, something. We talk a lot about generational wealth, right? We talk a lot about that. This is the last thing and I'm out of here. We talk a lot about generational wealth. Let's start with us. You start the generational wealth chain in your family. How about that? I'm going to start it in mine. I'm going to pass something down to my daughters. They getting something. I don't know how much they getting, but they getting something. They getting it. If because when I leave this place, that's going to be my last thing to them. And again, my daughters don't need no money. They ain't like that. They upstanding citizens and they all do well and take care of themselves. But they know daddy got their back and they know how I roll. But see, I'm gonna be the first one in my family pass down wealth. Or the way I like to call it, pass up wealth, right? What about you? What you gonna leave for your children? What you gonna leave for your loved ones? What you gonna leave for your favorite charity? What you gonna leave for your church? What you gonna leave? And again, guys, it ain't all about money, but what are you gonna leave? Because that's what we golly, we want generational wealth. That's what we black folks. That's all we want. Generational wealth, But nobody. Every time you ask somebody about it, why I gotta be money? Why I can't leave? What do you think generational wealth is? What do you think wealth is? It's money. Something, right? We talk about that a lot, but none of us, I ain't gonna say that. That's not true. Some of us get it. Some of us are out there building wealth and doing what we need to do. But there's a big portion of us, and I say us, I'm talking about all people. There's a big portion of us that don't do it, especially black folks. Well, why would you say that, Richard? Why would you make that statement about black people? Well, because we control 3% of the wealth in this country. 97% is controlled by somebody else that ain't black Americans. So I'm not giving you guys something that I'm just pulling out the air. Go look it up. We don't control very much wealth. I'm just giving you the truth, whether you want to believe it or not. 97% of the wealth is controlled by somebody else. So all I'm telling you is if you want to change that, and again, my channel's for all people, but y'all know I'm a black American, so from time to time I'm gonna have to say some things. So get out your feelings. It's okay. Black folks, we got to do better, man. We got to do better if we want better. I've given you my recommendation. Get your brokerage account if you don't have one. If you got one and it's inactive, activate it. Put some money in it. If you don't know what to invest in, go check out my videos. And again, that's your decision, not me telling you what to do, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving you ideas. You can take those ideas and do what you want to do with them, but you better do something. You better do something. And I think today, as I've stated, we have a clear indication from the Federal Reserve that interest rates are getting ready to go down. So guess what? If we want to build wealth and we want to get ourselves from this 3% and we want to get to 10, 15, 20, like other groups of people are doing, well, we better get in the game. We better get off the sideline. We better stop all this non-productive activity, all this consumer activity, and start with some production, not consumer, production, right? That's the blueprint. So let's go get it. Like I said, guys, if you want them 15 free stocks from Moomoo, you got to click on that link down in the description box. Open up that Moomoo account today. Go get that free stock. Go get that free money. Obviously, guys, you got to put some money in the account in order to get the free stocks. You can't just open the account and think you're going to get some free stocks. No, you're going to put some money in there, because the whole point of those people giving you the free stocks is so that you can start using the account to build some wealth. So do that. Don't click on it. Don't open it if you ain't looking to build wealth. You're wasting your time, right? Don't do it. If you're serious about building wealth, click on the link, open it up, get your free stock when you put money in the account, and then let's go. I told you, you got February and you got what? Part of March before I believe the Feds start reducing them rates and turning back on the money supply. When that money supply gets turned back on, assets start going up. Why? Because people start borrowing that money and buying assets, which increases demand for assets. Anytime demand goes up on assets, assets go up in price. That's what's going to happen. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Hope you be a part of that. Hope you be a part of that wealth transfer, right? Stop by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash that like button 100 times. I really would appreciate it. Thoughts become things. You can see it in your mind. You can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy. Get wealthy. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.